Earlier this year, I made a video essay on Degrassi and pointed out some of my favorite plot points and highlighted some of my favorite characters. After all the love I received on that video, I figured it'd only be right to make a follow-up video and talk more about the show and give more insight on what I like about the show, dislike, and just my overall thoughts. But with the overwhelming amount of Degrassi videos doing the same thing, I decided to make
the definitive Degrassi video series.
Yes, definitive. I'm going to make an entire video essay on each and every episode of Degrassi, every iteration of Degrassi, every major storyline, plot point, character moments, and overall, just how I feel about the entire Degrassi series. But we're gonna George Lucas this thing, bear with me. Degrassi's first iteration came from Kids of Degrassi, a show that was created in the 80s by Kid Hood and Linda Schuyler. This iteration of the show is extremely old and I've never actually, watched it. So we're gonna start from the middle with Degrassi The Next Generation, then go to Degrassi Next Class, and finish it off where it all started with Kids of Degrassi, Degrassi Junior High, and Degrassi High. So Degrassi Next Generation defines the early 2000s, from the style, mannerisms, jokes, and storylines. I first heard of Degrassi when my older brother introduced it to me, and I was instantly hooked. I don't know what it was, the characters or the edginess of it, but this show turned into undoubtedly one of my favorites. So Degrassi The Next Generation first aired in 2001 all the way to 2015. Degrassi The Next Generation is a teen drama series that follows a group of teenagers attending Degrassi Community School, all focused around fictional kids and teenagers living around the real-world location of Degrassi Street. In the first season of the show, we're introduced to what I like to call the Legacy Cast, consisting of the most popular and iconic characters from the show. We have the beautiful Miss Paige Michalchuk, the lovable idiot Spinner, the originator and protest enthusiast Emma, the comedic relief JT, the punching bag nerd Toby, the cute and bubbly Manny, the bad boy Sean, everyone's favorite person to hate Liberty, the beautiful but self-conscious Terry, and how could I forget the athletes, Jimmy Brooks, or better known as...
I go by the name of Drake, thank you for having me.
As the show goes on, we're introduced to a lot, and I mean a lot, of other characters with their own plot points, motivations, and story arcs. So finally, with all that being said, let's talk about the show's origin. As I said earlier, Degrassi's first iteration was Kids of Degrassi, which would later turn into Degrassi High. The show was insanely popular in Canada and talks about a reunion or hopefully a remake was in the works. But since the original cast was really old by this point, creating a show about adults isn't really what Degrassi is all about. All these ideas and brainstorming would lead to the creation of Degrassi The Next Generation. The casting process began and a new set of teenagers were the priority. One thing that makes Degrassi stand out opposed to other shows at the time was the fact that the cast was able to dress themselves, and this makes the show not only relatable but really a time capsule for the early 2000s. This is definitely apparent with the pilot, which had a heavy focus on internet creeps and the dangers that could surface from teenagers using the internet. The show began filming in 2001 and a two-part pilot would be created, and from that moment, Degrassi was born.
You're watching every Degrassi Ever marathon. Oops. All weekend long.
So season 1 episode 1 is the pilot, and like I said earlier, it deals with internet creeps. So Emma has an online friend named Jordan who just understands her better than anyone else. So throughout the episode we get a lot of callbacks to Degrassi High. We learn that Emma is daughter of Spike, a very important character from Degrassi, as well as Caitlin Ryan, who becomes the big shot. Joey, another Degrassi High character, now has a daughter. And we learn that Joey's wife passed away from another Degrassi character, Lucy. We meet Mr. Simpson, who will play a huge role in the series going forward, another character from Degrassi High. And they're really pushing this internet thing.
All the computers.
So Emma sneaks into the computer lab and finds out her email buddy wants to meet her.
Meeting a stranger you met off the net? That could be really dangerous.
This episode has tons of fan service for the old people who are watching this show. Emma gets some terrible advice from Caitlin and decides to meet up with Jordan, and that's episode 1. So episode 2 begins with more old people fan service, and we see Emma lie to Manny about watching some wildlife TV show that she shouldn't come over for, only for her to be actually meeting up with Jordan. Manny gets cautious and goes over Toby's house, and Toby gives us some insight on the dangers of internet relationships.
So this girl from BC, she meets this guy online. They hit it off. She goes to meet him. 3 days later, they find her dead, like in pieces.
That was some psycho. Emma's way too smart for that. She gets like practically straight A's.
So, this isn't school.
In the previous episodes, everyone was bad-mouthing Caitlin's new husband, and Joey sees firsthand exactly why.
I'm about to hit it big down in LA, and So her career would have to take the back seat, you know. And I don't think that's fair to her.
Absolutely. I completely understand. I mean, you're an artist. You need to be free, open to new experiences. I'd love to come visit you.
It'd be great. I could take you out and show you around.
We cut back to Emma and see that some guy claiming to be Jordan's teacher says Jordan's waiting for her upstairs, while Toby, Manny, and JT try to hack into Emma's email to find where she is. A fight breaks out at the reunion, and Emma tries to escape, but this happens.
A noise, and I tape your mouth. And I don't think you'd want that.
So Toby finds out Jordan had access to Emma's email, and that's how he felt like her soulmate. Toby, Manny, and JT rush to Degrassi to tell Emma's mom, and they rush to the hotel to save Emma.
Emma! Mom! Are you in there? Open the door!
Emma!
Emma!
Oh!
Open the door now!
Open the door!
Open the door. Okay? Are you in there? Are you okay?
There's been a misunderstanding.
You make a move, I'm gonna break your neck. Clear?
So before the episode ends, Emma and Spike share a heartwarming moment, and this is the end of Degrassi's pilot. And there's a lot to unpack here. So in many of Degrassi's promotions, you'll see the tagline, "It goes there." Because unlike many shows, especially ones from the time, Degrassi deals with very real life situations and consequences throughout the entire show's run. We see many problems like teen pregnancy, drugs, and relationships, some reminiscent of shows of today like Euphoria or 13 Reasons Why. But we have to remember, this show was created in 2001. So for a show to deal with such heavy topics in this time period is extremely rare. And honestly, without Degrassi, shows like 13 Reasons Why simply can't exist. Seeing something so unsettling like a child predator on television is extremely jarring, but also extremely necessary to bring light to these topics. Now that we are 2 decades into the internet era, something like cyber stalkers are a serious threat. And with the popularity of shows like MTV's Catfish, a problem like this being depicted in a show from 2001 is just so ahead of its time. And yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Let's get back to the show. So in episode 3, we're introduced to the entire Legacy cast, starting with Ashley Kerwin and her step-sibling situation with Toby. So today's the first day of school, and Ashley's hanging up posters to be class president, as well as we're introduced to her friend, Terry, and the ultimate glam totes popular girl boss Paige. Manny and Emma get bullied by the amazing duo of Jimmy and Spinner, and Toby really doesn't like Ashley and comes up with the great idea to have JT of all people run against her since no one else is running. Liberty introduces herself to Ashley being annoying as ever, and we find out Jimmy here and Ashley are going out. JT's campaign is going great. Most students actually favor him, and I would totally vote for JT. Just hear this.
If elected, I, JT York, will do what a real politician would do. Absolutely nothing.
So Ashley has an intervention with JT and bribes him with $80 to jump out of the competition, which is pretty much $8,000 to a 12-year-old. But Ashley has some demands and makes JT quit his campaign in front of the whole school. So Ashley and Toby have a heartwarming discussion about how Toby gets everything and running for president was really important to her. Ashley ultimately wins, they talk about getting along, and that's the end of episode 3. Episode 4 begins with Terry beating herself up about being bigger than most girls, and she's extremely hard on herself.
Fat guys don't even notice me.
Terry, you're not fat. That's ridiculous.
No, Dad, it's true.
Honey, you gotta stop beating yourself up. You are beautiful. You're beautiful. Tonight you'll see.
No, I won't see, because I'm not going. Because nobody's going to want to dance with a fat cow like me.
So Spinner is obviously interested in Terry, and Paige is obviously interested in Spinner. But due to Terry's insecurity, she can't imagine a guy being interested in her. So in episode 4, we're introduced to Sean, and I think Emma might have a thing for him. So Ashley insists on having Terry go to the dance and tells her she's going to give her a makeover to boost her confidence. Paige overhears this and insists she comes too. So Toby and JT aren't into dancing. JT gives Toby a piece of paper with some interesting links on there.
Where'd you get these URLs?
I got this cousin who's really into the net. Best thing about them, they're all free. Girls too sexy for me? I doubt it.
So later, Toby and JT are at the house. They wait for their parents, and we find out what was on that paper. But first, we have to get to Degrassi's first night dance. Ashley leaves Terry and Paige alone to go help set up, and Paige is helping Terry take off the edge a little.
Hun, the more you have, the better you feel. Trust me.
So while Toby and JT are enjoying themselves,
Boobage, here we come.
Terry meets up with Spinner at the dance, and Ashley totally rats her out.
Maybe you should tone it down a bit before Raditch realizes you're drunk.
This happens.
What are you doing?
Emma asks Sean to dance, and we get more drunk Terry.
Are you okay?
And JT and Toby are having a lot of fun until this happens. So Terry starts to get sick, and Paige quickly capitalizes.
Told Terry not to drink so much. So, did you save me that dance?
We find out that Toby's parents has some interesting insight on what they were watching.
They made us look at porn sites with them, including sites with men, to teach us a lesson about objectifying women.
They made you look at porn? With them? Male and female?
Not so loud, okay?
And before the episode's over, we see Paige's plan worked. So today is Parents' Day, and Toby is afraid of his parents seeing each other since they're split. And since Ashley isn't here for the announcements, Mr. Simpson puts on,
Hi, I'm Ryan and this is Nicole. And welcome to NAK, News About Kids.
and Emma is not having it. So apparently Toby's mom is a big-time movie casting agent, and Ashley decides to give it a try. Paige overhears this and asks Spinner a death-defying question.
Spinner, do you think Ashley's prettier than me?
What?
So Paige is now trying to impress Toby's mom too. And Toby, in an effort to get his parents not to come, forges a letter.
I was shocked more than anyone. Who knew I was doing so well? You know, this transfer to Degrassi has really helped me.
Uplifted Toby's grade classification to a premium standard. Interesting choice of words from Mr. Simpson.
No, you know, he's a computer guy. Writing isn't really his thing.
Neither is spelling. 2 E's in premium. What's going on?
Nothing's going on.
You don't want me to go to Parents' Day?
I didn't say that.
You didn't need to. Are you doing that badly in school or what? Talk to me, Toby.
Mom called, okay? She wants to go tomorrow.
And she didn't even tell me. You know, that is so typical of your mother. She just wants...
See? You guys can't be in the same room without freaking out.
Toby, we're on much better terms now. It's not like it used to be. So what? You don't want me to go?
I want you to go. And I want her to go. I just don't want the two of you to go there together.
Hey, come on, buddy. Everything's gonna be fine. No fights. Promise.
So it's Parents' Day now, and Toby's parents officially meet. While Ashley is trying more of a smooth approach, Paige decides to be upfront and says,
Paige, Michael Chuck, it's very nice to meet you. I've heard so much about you.
Smooth, Michael Chuck. Bet you're in the next flight to Hollywood.
Hun, I'd rethink the eyeliner. You're looking a little washed out.
I don't know what eyeliner is, but I know that one hurts. So Toby's parents are trying their best not to argue, and Emma's hit piece on NAK hits the news bulletin. But Sean's brother has an opinion.
So what, you have to watch this video every morning? Free computer's a free computer, man. What idiot wrote this?
Excuse me? I wrote that.
Oh, sorry, I was...
Don't look at her. It's my piece, and I'm right. Students shouldn't be force-fed advertising when we're at school. If you don't get it, you're the idiot.
Honestly, I see where Emma's coming from, but if I was in that position with my mom, let's just say the police would have showed up. Toby speaks up and spits some real knowledge.
Mom! Dad! Yeah, my assignment was late. Who's to blame? Video games. I'm telling you, they're destroying my generation.
Toby, this isn't a joke.
I'm not joking, okay? I don't have an excuse, but Dad can't do my homework for me or make sure I go to class. It's my life, right? So it's my problem. Stop blaming each other and then using me as another excuse to argue.
So Paige and Ashley try a last-ditch effort to get Toby's mom's attention. And the twist of this is she's actually interested in Terry. We get Sean and Emma flirting, and Toby gets in trouble for making a fake letter. So the kids have to perform a mock play of Romeo and Juliet. And Jimmy is Romeo, but instead of Ashley being Juliet, it's...
Romeo, oh Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
So there's supposed to be a sex education seminar, and JT really wants to attend for educational reasons, of course.
I heard that she brings, like, props. And she gets graphic. As in pornographic?
Toby has a crush on Emma, and the most early 2000s scene I've ever seen plays. So the sex ed teacher shows up, and the kids think it's just hilarious. Paige makes Ashley feel insecure about her relationship, and Spinner makes Jimmy feel insecure about his relationship. Toby tries to set up a date with Emma, but it quickly turns into a group hangout. Liberty is being annoying as usual.
I love you. You do know that physical violence violates the Degrassi Code of Conduct, don't you?
And oh my god, Paige and Jimmy just fucking kissed. And bro, Paige is just not letting Ashley live this down.
I know what you're doing, Paige Michael Chuck.
What are you talking about?
I'm not blind. You were all over Jimmy in there.
It's called rehearsal.
It's called backstabbing.
Ashley, we're studying Romeo and Juliet, not Julius Caesar, okay?
What does that even mean?
So Ashley thinks everything's over and decides to act on it.
Whoa, what was that for?
Didn't you like it?
Sure.
Well, if you like that, you'll love what I've planned for our anniversary. Mom's going to see Jeff perform in his orchestra, and Toby's going to a friend's house. So we'll be all alone. Remember what Dr. Sally said today? Well, I'm ready.
And Spinner gives Jimmy some advice.
Ash wants to have sex. Man, you're gonna get some? You got horseshoes up your butt. Yeah, cool, huh? Look, to mark this heroic occasion, I think you better get little Jimmy Jr. there a present. What? Condoms, you idiot. Condoms. Right.
And the emotions are just running high this episode because Ashley decides to buy little Jimmy a gift herself. Terry is being a good friend, letting Ashley know the seriousness of this just for her to say this.
I can't believe I'm listening to relationship advice from someone who's never even had a date.
So Toby strikes out with Emma, and Paige is just rubbing it in his face. So Jimmy goes and gets little Jimmy a present. And the fact that this is literally Drake, seeing him buy condoms is just so funny to me.
Well, are you sure this is the right size for you? Because we got small, medium, large, and extra large.
Yeah, those are fine.
Oh, but then you also got your choice of regular and super sensitive.
And it's time for the big moment. But before that, we get some Sean and Emma flirting. And oh.
What's wrong? Ash.
I'm just gonna go and freshen up. I'll be right back. Come on, Ash, grow up.
So we find out that neither of these kids are ready to do the deed, and good shit right there. We love responsible teenagers. So Toby's upset because Emma bailed on him to look at Sean. He catches them, making decorations, and we get a great resolution. Ashley's fine, and Spinner's actually understanding. Really good episode. So episode 7 is the basketball episode. Coach is cutting members, and Jimmy wants to make sure he does really good so he doesn't get cut. We also find out Jimmy hasn't really been doing his homework, and Liberty feels like she's being underappreciated with the school announcements, as she's the one doing majority of the work. And Jimmy is just proving he's my favorite character more and more.
Your thoughts on Chapter 8 have been fascinating, so let's open it up for discussion. Jimmy?
Chapter 8? It's great. Just like the rest of the book.
Could you elaborate? For example, which character do you relate to?
Well, that's a very interesting question, Miss Kwana.
Jimmy, it's not that hard.
Okay, I associate most with, the main character.
So if Jimmy doesn't get his shit together, he's gonna get cut. So Spinner, being the amazing friend he is, advises Jimmy to try a little pick-me-up, but Jimmy declines and leaves it alone. Liberty starts pressing Ashley to let her read the announcements, but Ashley says no. So Liberty decides if she doesn't give her a chance, she'll stop helping her. So Ashley caves in and lets her read them. And I know this is kind of random, but when I was in high school, I actually read our school announcements, so all I'm saying is, hey, it's not as easy as it looks. So Jimmy is getting pretty insecure after Sean's performance, and that Ritalin is starting to look kinda appetizing. And after a long night of studying, Jimmy convinces Spinner to let him take some. So Liberty gets her big shot and absolutely blows it.
This has been Liberty Van Zandt filling in for Ashley Kerwin.
More like loser Van Zandt. Good job, Ash. I'm impressed. You totally set her up.
I told you, Liberty. A lot harder than it seems. So Jimmy off the Ritalin is something else.
How you guys doing? You pumped?
Yeah.
Huh?
You know it, coach. You know it.
And Jimmy does pretty good. But once halftime comes around, we get this amazing Spinner performance.
Yo, Degrassi, who needs some halftime entertainment? Yeah, I hear you, brothers and sisters. Take that groove thing. One time now. Take that groove thing. To the people in the front now. Take that groove thing. Get back. Take that groove thing. Drop it. Good night, Degrassi.
So Jimmy off the Ritalin makes him a complete ball hog and even ends up injuring Sean. Meanwhile, Liberty redoes the announcements and does pretty good. And Jimmy learns his actions have consequences.
You know you almost broke his ankle out there?
That was an accident.
Accident? Come on, Jimmy. You fouled your own player deliberately. And you know we have a zero-tolerance policy for violence.
It was stupid. It'll never happen again. I promise.
I can't take that chance. Sorry, Jimmy. You're cut.
So Ashley's dad is in town and her mom is acting strange about the whole thing. And Liberty is giving signs for something.
What was with Liberty? She was acting like totally weird. She is weird.
Yeah, but why would Liberty, who's never missed a day of school in her life, put her neck on the line? And for you.
Hello, Liberty has a major crush on JT.
What?
Come on, it's so obvious.
I took it when Mr. Simpson wasn't looking.
Thanks. You didn't have to. You didn't have to take the blame today in homeroom.
Well, you know, you get in trouble so much, someone has to watch your back.
That's very sweet of you, Liberty.
Oh, and by the way, it's time the Grapevine had a 7th grader as student pick of the week, so I picked you.
Why?
Well, you know, everyone knows you're gonna be famous one day, so I just want to say I interviewed you first.
Cool.
So, interview after school?
Sure.
Okay.
JT and Liberty.
Sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
Would you shut up? She does not have a crush on me.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
So Paige and Terry have a thing for Ashley's father and they can't understand how him and her mother just wouldn't get along. JT tries to get Liberty off his back by using dance lessons, but Liberty is skeptical to say the least.
Oh, I get it. It's a joke. JT, you are beyond funny. Dance lessons with a boy?
Ashley's hopeful that her parents will get back together, but there's actually a reason, like a big reason they're not getting back together.
Ash, he hasn't found some other woman, has he? He's not getting married?
No.
Well, then what? Is he gay? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Ash, there are things your dad and I should have talked to you about a long time ago.
Mom, I was joking.
It's not a joke. Your dad is gay.
So Paige is being Paige and suggests that Ashley's dad could be possibly gay, and Ashley doesn't do too well with this information.
I'm not. Just better mind your own business for once, Paige.
But my oldest brother's game. Terry was trying to help.
So the JT and Liberty relationship thing isn't going good for JT. So he deceives a master plan.
Okay, that's it. I've stood her up, I've ignored her, I've been very rude to her, and she will not take a hint.
Just tell her point blank, you're not interested.
Okay, this may sound desperate, but it's a plan. Remember that little talk we had about Ashley's dad and his orientation?
Yeah.
Well, you know what coming out did to his marriage. What if I came out to Liberty? It'd work. You know it would.
Ashley and her father have a talk, and JT has to seal the deal and decides to do what is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, Liberty girlfriend.
Meanwhile, Ashley is taking well to this information.
Dad, we had him over for dinner in our house.
Honey,
You left us for him.
Ash, it's not that simple. We fell in love. I'm sorry, but I just don't know how else to say it.
No.
Ash,
How could you do this to me?
you see, this is exactly why I wanted to wait until you were older, so that you would understand.
Understand?
Yes, and not just hate me.
For what, Dad, huh? For knowing that you were gay or for knowing that all you've ever done is lie to me?
Ashley.
JT learns his lesson about lying.
I'm not gay, okay?
You lied?
Yeah, 'cause you just wouldn't take a hint.
Am I really that horrible?
Liberty,
If you didn't like me, you should have just said so.
And Terry tries to comfort Ashley, but she just pushes her away and kind of left on a cliffhanger here. So episode 9 opens with Jimmy talking about having dinner with Ashley and his family. And Ashley seems really surprised. But when Ashley talks about it with Terry, she seems sort of annoyed about Jimmy always being at her house. Emma is stressed out about her test.
I totally failed.
And you studied all last night.
Yeah, but I was counting on having this morning to refresh.
Wow, maybe you're a workaholic.
I am not a workaholic. Some of us want to make it to university. I want a career in something other than horoscopes.
And Ashley does not want Jimmy at the house today.
Nothing. I'm sick of him eating here every night.
Well, we don't have to invite him. But I just feel bad for the kid. He's always alone. I wonder about his parents sometimes.
Emma and her mom enjoy some retail therapy, and this happens.
Ooh, I'd like a lick of that.
Excuse me?
So after Ashley escorts Jimmy out the house, she starts becoming fed up with him and considers something crazy.
You know what? At this point, I'm just about ready to break up with him.
It's Jimmy's birthday today, but Toby wants to talk to Jimmy and starts giving Jimmy hints.
You know, I've been thinking about what you said last night. You know, about when you're trying to master a really complicated move. Leave it alone for a while, come back to it later.
Yeah.
You know, give it a rest. Don't suffocate it. Kind of like with girls.
Tobes, what are you saying?
Nothing. It's just interestingly similar. That's all. No biggie.
What did Ashley say? Come on, you're my friend. What is she feeling? Suffocated? Like we're together too much? She doesn't want to break up, does she?
After this mess of a situation, Sean invites Emma to look at horoscopes, and this happens.
Did you sit in something? What? No,
You coming?
No, what do I do? I don't know. This hasn't happened to me yet.
No, I don't think we have time for the horoscopes. So you should go to class.
So tension is building between Ashley and Jimmy, and Manny and Emma are figuring out this whole becoming a woman thing.
We should celebrate. Celebrate what exactly?
Becoming a woman? You can get pregnant now.
Oh, great. Can we celebrate by finding me a washroom?
Toby isn't handling the Ashley and Jimmy breakup too well.
Ash, Jimmy's amazing. He's nice to you, he's nice to me.
He's always around. He's always there, in my face.
You're being just like our parents. One hint of trouble and they walk.
Toby, my dad's gay. It's not exactly one hint of trouble. Oh, you don't understand anything.
You don't bring people into your life just to throw them away.
Oh.
So Paige is being a big sister to Emma, and Manny comes into the gym with some much needed gym shorts. But Emma has a book report she needs to handle, but JT can't help himself from making jokes.
All my gym shorts.
Yo, Puff Emma's in the house.
Good one, JT.
This book is a bit
too big for you?
Metaphorical.
Guys, pull yourself together.
Do you have a problem?
And Emma shuts his ass up so quickly.
Aw. Did Emmy pee her pants?
No, I just got my period for the first time.
So Jimmy takes Ashley to his house for that dinner, but something's a bit off.
Mom, Dad, I'm home. They're not like your family, okay?
Jimmy confronts Ash about Toby's advice earlier.
Ash, forget it. Look, can we just break up and get this over with?
What?
You're feeling suffocated, right? Toby told me.
Don't listen to what Toby says. He doesn't know anything.
So he was wrong? You don't want to break up?
Look, can we just forget this? It's your birthday.
Oh, I get it. You don't want to break up with me because it's my birthday? What is that, like my birthday present?
Jimmy.
You want to break up, Ash? Then let's break up. Now, okay? It's over. So go. Get out of here. What are you, deaf? Go!
And calls that pizza his mom told him to get. So we see after all of this at Degrassi, Jimmy is still angry, but Ashley decides to console him and give him a hug. And the Ashley-Jimmy train is still going strong. Episode 10 starts with Emma seeing something. So Emma has suspicion on Mr. Armstrong and thinks he can be a bit too nice to students.
I saw you in Armstrong this morning.
And what's your point?
It looked like...
Looked like what? I had a few questions about equations. So? Are you trying to read my emails?
No, not at all.
Emails are private. Mind your own business.
So Spinner finds a bug in his food, and Emma starts being really blunt with Manny.
Manny, has Armstrong ever touched you? What?
Terry overhears this conversation, decides to tell Paige, and the rumors spread like a wildfire. Every time someone hears it, it only gets worse.
Get this. Liberty and Armstrong were seen kissing outside. Yeah, they were in his car, kissing in front of everybody.
She got a ride in with him this morning. Do you think they spent the night together? How could Coach Armstrong do that?
Dude, Liberty and Armstrong are doing it.
So Ashley confronts Liberty about the rumors and she runs off. Emma confronts Liberty next day in the bathroom and Liberty confirms nothing is happening. So after Spinner finds another bug in his food, he decides to put matters in his own hands. Meanwhile, Emma is tracking where the rumor came from and she goes from Ashley to Spinner, Spinner to Hazel, then Paige, and finally Terry. Only to find out.
Hello? You're the one who started the rumor.
I hate to tell you, but no.
It was right here yesterday. You were talking to Manny about Liberty and Armstrong, remember? You started the rumor, Emma.
So Spinner's master plan backfires and ends up getting caught. Meanwhile, Mr. Armstrong's gonna have a little chat with the principal, including Liberty. So Emma confesses she was the one who started the rumor, and Spinner gets stuck serving lunch. So it turns out Liberty has
dyscalculia,
and she has trouble understanding numbers. And Emma tries to offer help, but Liberty doesn't accept and lets her know what she really thinks of her.
Go back to saving rainforests and whales, because when it comes to helping people, you suck.
Episode 11 opens with Sean asking Emma if she'd want to hang out. Emma tells Manny, and she's excited because this is Emma's first date. Meanwhile, Spinner isn't listening to Miss Kwan, and this happens.
All right. Who's doing that? Detention. After school.
What? But, hey, you can't... My disc, man!
No, your fault for listening to it in my homeroom. Keep wasting my time, Gavin, and I'll keep wasting yours.
And Kwan is just tripping on niggas this episode. Damn.
Miss Kerwin, Mr. Brooks, this is a school, not a petting zoo. Kindly disengage yourselves.
But we were just...
Would you prefer to take it up with the principal? I'm sure he'd be happy to discuss the finer points of the Degrassi Code of Conduct. You two may think you're adorable, but that doesn't mean anyone else does.
So Spinner and Jimmy talk about potentially getting back at Miss Kwan. Paige gives Emma some much needed advice on Sean. Spinner does a funny impression of Miss Kwan and apparently, and she was able to hear everything they were saying, and gives Jimmy a matching detention with Spinner. Emma and Sean's date become official, and Jimmy and Spinner are officially plotting their revenge. Sean shows up to the Nelson residence, and Emma's mom is enjoying this a bit too much and decides to take a picture, and the Emma Sean photo is born. But as soon as they leave the house, this happens. So Jimmy and Spinner sneak into Degrassi after hours and get their revenge.
It's disturbing the rest of the class.
But the boys can hold their laughter, and Kwan tries to catch them. But they're nowhere to be found. Oh, there they are. The reign of terror is not over. So Sean and Emma's date is going alright, but you can definitely tell this is a first time thing. So Miss Kwan now has a pizza guy at her door with a lot of wings. But luckily, her students were actually quite hungry. So Sean and Emma's date hits another turn when Emma loses her wallet in the trash, and Sean has to go dig for it. Meanwhile, Jimmy and Spinner egg Mrs. Kwan's car, and instead of getting the reaction they expected, this happens. So Sean's digging for Emma's wallet, and she actually just put it in her pocket. And all this embarrassment is too much, and she just runs away. Sean does forgive her, though, the next day and decides to keep the picture. So after Spinner and Jimmy prank Miss Kwan just couldn't handle the pressure, and she decides to actually leave Degrassi. And we find out she was actually under a lot of stress and couldn't handle the pressure of teaching anymore. So episode 12 starts off with Manny showing her cheerleading and trying to join the team. Emma gives Manny her 2 cents on cheerleading.
Cheerleading might be fun. Fun? Manny, you're not thinking of... You really want to become some pom-pom pumping robot? I'm surprised. To tell you the truth, I don't think Degrassi should have a squad, period.
Okay, forget it. You're right. Can we talk about something else?
JT and Toby are enjoying some chips, and apparently it's a part of some competition. So Emma will not leave Manny alone about cheerleading. And Liberty has the can JT and Toby need for the competition, but Spinner wants in on the deal. So Manny is starting to get acquainted with the popular girls, but Emma's distaste for cheerleading could lead to it getting canceled. So Manny tries to convince her not to release the article, but this happens.
And now you think you can drop me like a hot potato just because, ooh, some 8th grader is finally talking to you? It's not like that, Em.
I want to become a cheerleader, that's all.
Please.
Is it so wrong if I become friends with Paige in the process?
You honestly think Paige is your friend?
Is that so hard to believe? That for once someone cool likes me?
She's just using you, Manny.
No, you're just jealous.
Jealous of that pretentious wannabe?
You know the difference between you and Paige? Paige is fun. You're so boring, sometimes I want to scream.
And JT's dumbass lost the other can. So Emma starts hating as usual, writes that hit piece on cheerleading to try and get it canceled anyway. Paige and Emma run into each other and all hell breaks loose.
Shouldn't you be out hugging trees?
Guys, come on.
Manny, you were asking about this. It's coming out at noon. The Spirit Squad's only spirit is the spirit of sexism. Look what your little friend wrote.
Nice, Emma. So I'm a bimbo too.
And this is the end of the Manny and Emma story. So Paige is doing what Paige does best and has Manny help them rip Emma's article out of the school newspaper. And turns out JT does know where the other can is, but...
You moron! They're both clubs!
Oh no. Ace of spades. Ace of clubs. They're so similar.
I knew it was a mistake, hooking up with a bunch of loser grade 7s.
Guys, come on, ow! Ouch! No!
So Mr. Simpson confronts the cheer squad about the missing article, and Paige is just paging it up this episode.
My opinion piece was ripped out of every copy of the Grapevine. Well, I had nothing to do with it.
No one's accusing you, Paige. Even if it was Emma's critique of the Spirit Squad that was attacked. I don't have to tell you that vandalism can result in suspension. This is pretty serious.
Mr. Simpson,
Let me, Manny. If anyone should tell you this, Mr. Simpson, it should be me, as head of the Spirit Squad. But we saw Hazel hanging around the foyer earlier, acting suspicious.
Manny confronts Paige about her actions.
why did you do that? Why did you backstab Hazel?
Hello? I had to give up somebody, and you were about to spill your guts. I was simply looking out for you.
Well, don't, okay? Not if it means dragging me into your dirty work.
My dirty work? You were there too.
Yeah, I ripped one newspaper.
One? More like all. Or at least that's what I'll tell Mr. Simpson if you don't shut up.
Paige, you were the one who's like...
Who's he gonna believe? You or me?
Let's go find out.
Manny, what is your damage?
You, Paige.
You better watch your mouth.
Or what, you'll spread lies about me? Deface my locker? Just try it.
FYI, your attitude sucks. Good luck making the squad.
Emma and Manny make up, but this isn't the last of this story. So episode 13 starts with the musical talents of Ashley.
Oh, just tell me how I can be all that you ask of me and still feel that I am free, free to be who I am.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And Terry looking up some mystical-ish. So Terry doesn't really like the song Ashley made, and Paige suggests they make their performance a trio. But Terry's too scared to speak up, and Paige does not like that. Manny and Emma need a third for their performance, and they suggest Sean. But he doesn't do that funny shit, so Toby suggests himself, and JT has some words for it.
Well, I think it's cool when guys get in touch with their feminine side.
Of course you do, JT. Look at you.
Ha ha, funny.
So Terry isn't leaving this mystical shit alone, and Spinner gives his hand at it.
Great mystic oracle. Am I really a superstar?
You don't need an oracle to answer that one, Gavin. Ask another serious question, please.
What was the name of my first pet?
I call upon my angelic guardians. I call upon my spirit guides.
R O C K Y. Rocky. How did you That's cool. And just a bit creepy.
So Terry uses her newfound powers to give people readings, starting with Manny.
So, I'm a fool?
No. In tarot, the fool represents fate. What's important is that it's upside down. It means your day will end unexpectedly, with a twist.
Twist? What is that supposed to mean?
So Terry is trying to convince Ashley that Paige should be allowed in the group, but Ashley isn't budging.
Wow. 3 of rods. Rods represents creativity, our band. And 3.
The Oracle has spoken.
The Oracle has spoken. The Oracle did speak. Paige joined the band. Sounds like you want her to join.
Oh shit, Manny, look out.
No. Can you stand in it at all?
Ow. It's already starting to swell. We should probably take you to the nurse.
I can't believe this. How am I gonna dance? How am I gonna be a panther?
So Terry predicted Manny busting her shit, and she was right. So since she was right about this, she decides to let Paige join the group. But Paige wants to make some improvements.
Even I'm amazed at my brilliance.
Paige, Michaelchuck, and the Sex Kittens? Please.
So now that Manny is out, she can no longer perform, and now Toby has to step up. So Paige suggests not only to change the song, but the look for the group. And Ashley still isn't budging.
Paige, what are you wearing?
Our new look, you like?
I don't. You want us to look like prostitutes?
Fine, I'll go get us some nun costumes.
Very funny, Paige.
So Terry and Paige both decide to try out the synthesizer to give the song more oomph, and Toby can't dance.
Toby, that's your cue.
Oh, sorry.
JT, stop the music. Toby, you keep leaning in the wrong way.
Right, sorry. Wanna try again?
No, I think I've had enough head injuries for today.
Okay.
Maybe you should try it at home in front of the mirror or something.
Sure.
Man, how far will you go?
JT, shut up.
And Ashley hears something.
What is that?
Oh, just tell me how I can be all that you ask of me, and still
I guess I missed the rehearsal. I don't believe this. You guys redid my song?
Ashley, it's just an alternate take. Both versions are still on the computer, so there's no problem.
We weren't trying to ruin your song. We were taking it to another level, you know?
No, Paige, I don't know. First, the name, then the clothes, now my music. Forget it.
Well, I think we should go with our version, right, Terry?
Terry, there's no argument. You know the song was better before.
I don't know.
You should let the Oracle decide. We can all agree on that. After all, Terry is in touch with the other side.
Okay, we'll consult the Oracle.
Mystic Oracle, which version should we go with? High Priestess. It means go with the new. Sorry, Ash. The Oracle has spoken.
So Ashley does her research, and oh shit, Terry's standing up for herself.
Because you hate all of my suggestions.
That is so not true.
It is. I don't get a say in anything. It's not fair.
So Toby, Emma, and Manny are first, and everyone's laughing. But like I said earlier, Sean don't play that funny shit.
Hey! Shut up! Let them dance.
So Terry and Paige go without Ashley, and I can't lie, they killed that shit. Emma actually liked Toby's performance, but this wouldn't be an episode of Degrassi without Toby getting fucked over.
You were great up there. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, do you want to go and maybe...
I'll be right back, okay? Sean, I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything.
The way you just stood up like that, told everyone off, it was so brave.
So Ashley finally admits that Paige and Terry's songs slap, and they officially become known as PMS. Episode 14 opens up with Sean getting a call from his mom to come back home, and he doesn't take a liking to this information. So back at Degrassi, Jimmy is clowning on Sean like usual.
Hey, Sean, gonna miss that locker, eh?
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It's just you'll be moving to grade 8 next year. Finally.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
And oh shit, Miss Kwan is back. And after she excuses another student to the nurse for having a headache, Spinner looks directly at the camera and breaks the fourth wall. So Emma agrees to help Sean study for his media test because if he fails, he'll have to retake 7th grade. Again. So Emma and Sean study back at her place, and Emma is being nosy as fuck.
You want to mess with me? I'll mess you up. I'm big trouble.
Yeah, I heard.
You heard what?
Just Tracker said you got into trouble once. He didn't give me the details.
Okay. Back in Wasaga Beach, I got into a fight with this guy. Messed up his hearing pretty bad.
You made him deaf?
Yeah. Yeah, in one ear.
Permanently?
I'm not proud of what I did, you know? Sometimes I just get really, really mad and... But I'm working on it, okay?
And it was a year ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
So test day comes and Spinner puts his genius to use by putting his finger around Terry's cup and putting it in his mouth, since she's sick. And we see Sean take his test, but time's up and he wasn't finished. So tensions rise between Sean and Jimmy, and Sean has this to say.
Don't push me, okay? Dude, what's your problem? What's my problem?
Yeah, do you understand English?
So you think I'm stupid?
No. I think you're a freak.
Hey, guys. Guys, what's going on here?
Nothing, we're just playing around.
Well, tone it down, all right?
I'll see you after school.
So Jimmy is talking to everyone about the big fight after school, and Spinner is trying his best to get out of this test. And the nurse pulls out this huge wand and sticks it in Spinner's.
You know what? I'm feeling a lot better. All of a sudden. Really?
So Sean isn't taking the testing too lightly, and Mr. Simpson isn't helping, honestly.
What's going on?
Just being myself. A failure.
Sean, you are not a failure.
Oh no? I totally screwed up that test.
But how do you know? I haven't even marked it yet.
Don't bother. I failed. It's my life.
What do you mean that's your life?
It's just the way it is.
Well, I guess if you believe that, then that's the way it's gonna be.
So it's fight time, baby.
Beat that nigga ass! Beat that nigga ass!
And things are getting pretty heated, but Sean does the unspeakable.
Emma, get out of here! Emma.
So Ashley's mad at Jimmy for fighting. Spinner's dumbass gets the flu but passes his test, thankfully. And Sean actually passed the test too. But did he really win? Really? So it's the last day of school and Ashley is planning a get-together. Both Miss Kwan and Mr. Simpson are reminiscing with their classes. And after class, everyone is deciding how to spend all their new free time. And Emma ain't forgetting what happened last episode.
No boys allowed, especially boys named Sean.
So JT's trying to help Toby get with Emma since she's Sean free, and JT suggests this.
Hey, Sean. Toby here's having the boys over tonight to play some cards, talk girls, guy stuff. Wanna come?
No.
You know, Emma's gonna be there.
Emma?
Yeah. We're
having the girls over. Later.
Okay.
Are you insane?
After tonight's little tutoring session, Emma will be all yours. Trust me.
So the party is at Ashley's place and Ashley and Toby are related, so JT's there too. And he doesn't waste no time.
But nothing, Ashley. It's our pleasure to share this fine evening with such lovely young ladies.
The girls are watching a scary movie and then...
Sean, what are you doing here?
Toby invited me.
Toby? Little scammer. They're upstairs.
So JT's trying to get this party started and pulls out something interesting to say the least.
Aspirin.
Ecstasy.
E? JT, what is...
Ecstasy is the love drug, right? There's a whole room of girls down there needing some love.
I don't know, man. This stuff's pretty intense.
Better be. I paid my cousin 2 weeks' allowance for it. Let's split it.
Okay. Give me the pill. I'll do it.
So Sean's being a big bro and swaps the pills with aspirin. He tells Ashley to get rid of the ecstasy, but she has other plans. And Paige is doing what she does best, being Paige.
Terry's slipping in video numero 2. Sorry, but this get-together is getting seriously lame.
Okay, then what do you want to do?
Invite Jimmy over. Just stop being boring and break a rule for once.
I already did.
Then invite him again. Hun, you just need to live a little. 'Cause you're pretty cool when you do. Honest.
Jimmy, come over. I would have fun together.
So Ashley pops the E and JT and Toby are tripping and Sean is having way too much fun.
Can't you feel it? How can you not feel it?
I'm starting to. I think. Dude. This is incredible.
Dude, this is ecstasy.
But downstairs is where the real tripping is happening.
Sorry. Okay, I'm now officially deaf.
That was so scary. So they heard me scream all the way in China.
So Emma, Manny, and Liberty show up and Ashley has some words for Liberty.
Liberty! I didn't invite you. How'd you know? Was I sending out psychic vibrations?
No. JT and Toby called.
Yeah, and I'm the one inviting too many people. Liberty, I have wanted to tell you this for like forever, but I get you. You're like me, only sort of not. You know?
So the girls head upstairs and JT greets them.
Hello. Toby?
Welcome to the Isaac Zone of infinite love and harmony. Sit.
Thanks for inviting us.
Shalom.
Jimmy and Spinner and some extras show up, and Spinner has a watermelon for some reason. I guess that's how you guys get down in Canada. And Jimmy isn't a fan of the new Ashley. And Sean eventually finds Emma, but she isn't a fan of Sean right now either. So since they're both in the dog pound right now, they decide to share their feelings. So Jimmy confronts Toby about the ecstasy.
There you are, Mr. Drug Dealer.
And after goes looking for Sean. But Sean was just about to leave. He sees Emma on his way out and she starts crying, but Toby's there and scores some Emma points. At least one good thing came from tonight. JT still thinks he's high and Ashley lets out all her feelings.
This is exactly why me and Sean he gets me. You? Shh, stop.
Pierre, I love your shirt. It's so shiny like stars.
I'm out of here.
What I should have done is broken up with you on your birthday, like I was going to.
Ash, would you just stop being such a hag already?
Paige, you are a hag. On two fronts. Your looks and your personality.
So the party's over, and the next day, Ashley feels terrible for everything she said. So Spinner drops by the next day and gives Ashley all of her presents she gave to Jimmy. Ashley breaks down and starts crying, and the end of Degrassi Season 1 is here. And there's a lot to unpack. So for starters, Emma is terrible. The Liberty episode especially highlights how annoying she can truly be. Like, she was reaching saying Armstrong was doing stuff for her just because he passed her a note. Then when Manny, her best friend, wants to try the cheerleading, instead of being a good friend and supporting her no matter what, she just has to make her opinion known and even try to get the whole cheer program shut down. L friend if you ask me. So Toby is a punching bag pretty much the entire show. So all the L's he takes are going to increase. Liberty is pretty unsufferable this season too, but she starts to come around later in the season when she does the school announcements, and of course when she tripped on Emma's nosy ass.
Go back to saving rainforests and whales, because when it comes to helping people, you suck.
And JT is just fucking hilarious, especially in the coming out episode.
Hey, Liberty girlfriend.
Another JT highlight is his presidency episode, especially this JT.
If elected, I, JT York, will do what a real politician would do. Absolutely nothing.
JT 2024. So the older kids, Sean and Jimmy, have been arguing all season, and this fight has been teased since the beginning of the season. Sean and Emma's relationship is super cute, I can't lie, and very reminiscent of even some of my early relationships. But when the fight happens, he pushes her, and we're just gonna have to see how that gets resolved. Jimmy and Ashley are going super strong at the beginning, but Ashley is just way too full of herself, I can't lie.
I can't believe I'm listening to relationship advice from someone who's never even had a date.
Jimmy has his own shit to deal with, and he is at fault for using Ashley for comfort, but she reassures him that it's alright and she understands why he's so clingy. But when her true feelings come out at the party, we see she actually despises Jimmy for this. Terry is insecure, like really insecure. She doesn't get many storylines in season 1, but she's definitely a mainstay character, and in my opinion, she's an underappreciated one. So Paige. She is a total bitch this season. I cannot lie.
Hun, I'd rethink the eyeliner. You're looking a little washed out.
But I love it. Throughout this entire season, she is doing whatever to be on top. Some highlights include getting her friend drunk just to steal her date.
Hun, the more you have, the better you feel. Trust me.
She blames Hazel for ripping the cheerleader article out of the newspaper, even though it was her idea.
Hello, I had to give up somebody.
And her trying to steal Ashley's boyfriend and making her feel like she has to have sex with him just to keep him? Yeah, this bitch is evil, I can't lie. And last but not least, Spinner. So Spinner doesn't do much this season except be Spinner. He gets in trouble, pulls some pranks, barely passes his test, but that's about it for now. He'll do a lot more later, trust me. So if I had to give Degrassi Season 1 a rating, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. Great season. I'd like to thank everyone who has made it this far into the video, and if you want a sneak peek into part 2, I've just launched a Patreon where you can get exclusive updates on videos and get videos one day early, and even vote on future videos that will be on the channel. So if you can't wait for part 2, consider donating to the Patreon. I don't mean to leave you guys on a cliffhanger, but come on, I gotta make sure you watch part 2. Once again, thank you for watching. I put a lot of work into this video and I am excited to get to work on part 2. If you made it all the way to the end, be sure to leave a like and comment pizza so I know who actually watched the whole thing. Thanks again. I can't thank you guys enough, and I'll see you in part 2.